We are kicking off today with WWE, and as we approach the end of May 2025, WWE Saturday Night's main event is gearing up for a big return to NBC, with the show set to air live from the Yuengling Center on May 24th. In a major development, it's been revealed that John Cena will be appearing at the event. Before that, Cena is scheduled to defend his title against Randy Orton this Saturday at WWE Backlash. Many insiders and wrestling journalists believe that Cena will successfully retain the championship, and WWE already seems to have his next challenger lined up. Though not officially confirmed, internal sources suggest that WWE's creative team is currently planning a John Cena vs. LA Knight showdown for the world title at Saturday night's main event. Adding fuel to the fire, longtime WWE analyst Sam Roberts recently shared his thoughts on how the match could come together. He predicts LA Knight will confront Cena on the first SmackDown following Backlash, setting the stage for their title clash later in the month. He said, "I have LA Knight versus John Cena happening at Saturday night's main event in Tampa. I think that's like a perfect match where you don't have to make it like we're selling out a stadium match, but it does become this fantasy match where it's like, whoa, we're gonna get to see LA Knight. He gets a title shot. He gets to fight John Cena. It's Saturday night's main event. Feels like a draw to me for NBC. And you can also have John Cena beat LA Knight clean at Saturday night's main event." This wouldn't be the first time these two have shared the ring. At Fastlane 2023, Cena and LA Knight teamed up to defeat Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso. A lot has changed since then, but that brief partnership could serve as a compelling setup for a full-blown feud. With both superstars known for their explosive promos, a program between them could be a ratings magnet. If WWE makes this match official, will LA Knight rise to the occasion, or will he be steamrolled by the legendary Cena? Yesterday, we reported on Riley Osborne, as it was claimed that the recently released NXT star was cut after making it well known that he didn't want to help the WWE Evolve brand. Now, Osborne is claiming that this report is not true, and in a post labeled incorrect shared on May 6th, Osborne refuted the claim against him. He said, "I worked the first set of Evolve tapings the day after my wife was released. When I was told by the head coach on a phone call that night I can have off tomorrow and if I need time with my wife, as we had to pull out of the house we were like 2 weeks from closing on, all I had to do was tell him, yeah, I'd just like a day to be with her." Osborne went on to explain how he prioritized professionalism despite personal circumstances. "I was the first person in that building the next day and was commended on my professionalism. I will not have my work ethic questioned when I was busting my ass off in rehab to return, which I knew the return would have been on Evolve." This post comes after Osborne shared on Instagram that he had surgery on March 7th and hadn't wrestled since, but his Evolve matches were pre-taped, so fans thought he was still active. The ex-superstar even joked about being released while still injured, posting, "Can't wait to get medically cleared at work. Oh." Between the injury, the pre-recorded appearances, and this pushback against bad attitude reports, Osborne wants to make it clear the reality of the situation and his exit from WWE. Do you believe Riley Osborne's version of events? Was WWE wrong to release him while he was still injured? Share your thoughts and feedback down in the comments section. Over to AEW, as Vincent and Dutch of the Righteous are officially done with All Elite Wrestling, at least for the time being. Earlier this month, fans noticed their names were quietly removed from AEW's official roster page, and PW Insider reports that the pair requested their release, which AEW granted last week. While their contracts reportedly weren't set to expire until later in 2025, both men wanted to leave early, but a source said that the door might not be closed entirely for the tag team. This source hinted at a possible return to AEW under a per-appearance deal, but the duo have now caught the attention of a certain Monday Night Raw superstar. Shortly after news of their release, Kross took to Twitter with a cryptic black and white video in which he's shown seated in a chair staring into the distance. What caught the attention of fans was the Righteous' theme song being used at the start of the clip, which saw Kross snap his fingers 6 times before muttering "tick-tock" and leaving. This nod to Vincent and Dutch didn't go unnoticed, especially after this week's news, as fans filled the replies, speculating whether Kross was playing mind games or teasing something big. AEW has yet to issue an official statement on the personnel changes, but the quiet reshuffling is raising eyebrows among fans who closely follow the roster. With the Righteous now free agents, it remains to be seen whether they'll join Kross in WWE, resurface in another promotion, or return to AEW or Ring of Honor down the line. Over to WWE NXT, as no quarter catch crew's Myles Borne outlasted 24 other competitors from the Silver Brand, Evolve, WWE LFG, and even TNA to earn a shot at the NXT champion Obafemi. Borne's surprise victory came by last eliminating Ethan Page and Shawn Spears simultaneously in the Battle Royal, which featured a surprise return from TNA's Elijah. WWE fans will know Elijah as Elias, and he delivered a brief musical performance and sung to the crowd, who responded with enthusiasm by chanting, "Oh, walk with Elias." That chant was bleeped due to Elijah's new ring name, and other names in the match included Ridge Holland, Evolve's Sean Legacy, Wesley, Charlie Dempsey, Tavion Heights, and Lexis King. Elijah wasn't the only notable name who returned to a WWE ring in this Battle Royal, as in a backstage segment, Timothy Thatcher was seen preparing for the bout. Sure enough, Thatcher was part of the Battle Royal, marking his first match in an NXT ring since battling Ridge Holland during the August 24th, 2021 edition of NXT. TNA's Zachary Wentz was involved, a somewhat odd call given that WWE released his partner Gigi Dolan mere days earlier, and Wentz and Wes Lee had a great spot against each other. Trick Williams also competed but was eliminated by Elijah after TNA champion Joe Hendry caused a distraction, continuing their ongoing feud. Javon Evans secured his future as a highlight in Royal Rumbles with his multiple ways of avoiding elimination, as the young OG continues to impress on a weekly basis. Evans avoided multiple elimination attempts with his gravity-defying ways, and fans can look forward to spots like this in the Royal Rumble, hopefully in the near future. Shiloh Hill of LFG scored the first eliminations, tossing both Chris Island, who is also from LFG, as well as former Heritage Cup holder Lexis King over the top rope. The final four was Javon Evans, Paige, Spears, and Borne, and it was the AEW alum who teamed together to eliminate the young OG before Paige and Spears quickly turned on one another. When Paige tried to turn on Spears, Borne seized the moment and kicked Paige over the top rope, dragging Spears out with him to get the win and the shot at the Rulers NXT title. Members of NQCC came out to celebrate Borne's victory, though Charlie Dempsey was noticeably absent from the in-ring celebration with Ren Sinclair and Tavion Heights. Backstage, Dempsey was pleased for his ally, but tried to make the case that Borne should give the title shot to him, teasing frictions within the No Quarter Catch crew. The group was interrupted by Obafemi, and Borne ratted on Dempsey, sharing that Charlie had called the champ a meathead, setting up a match between Femi and Dempsey next week. Fans were chanting Baby Randy at Borne's at times during the match, a nod to Borne's resemblance to the Legend Killer, and this nickname appears to be catching on. As with most Battle Royals, this one leaned into chaos, but in an entertaining way, and while the winner was unpredictable, it advanced several stories and ongoing rivalries. But what do you make of Borne's win? Should he be the one to dethrone Obafemi, who has held the NXT Championship since January? Let us know your thoughts below. With the issues between Joe Hendry and Trick Williams escalating during this Battle Royal, a match was made between the two by Ava, but it'll come at NXT Battleground on May 25th. This match will be for Hendry's TNA World Championship, giving Williams an opportunity to make history by becoming the first active WWE superstar to win TNA Gold. Of course, Hendry has no plans on losing the title, and who do you see leaving the Yuengling Center in Tampa as TNA World Champion? Give your predictions in the comments. It was reported recently that WWE had signed AAA talent, and now Stephanie Vaquer has shared a cryptic tweet that many believe is aimed at La Hiedra. In her post, the reigning NXT Women's Champion said that I'm focused on my own journey and Karma is handling the rest, which has stirred speculation given the timing. According to Brian Alvarez in the Wrestling Observer Daily Update, people in Mexico suspect the tweet was directed at La Hiedra, who has reportedly been signed to WWE's AAA division. At one point, Vaquer had a restraining order against La Hiedra in Mexico, stemming from comments Hiedra allegedly made regarding Vaquer's issues with her ex-boyfriend El Cuatero. Vaquer has previously accused El Cuatero of misconduct, and while WWE is pursuing global expansion, this situation with La Hiedra proves that challenges could present themselves. It could be an issue if she and Vaquer are scheduled for the same event, such as Worlds Collide next month, and it remains to be seen how WWE and AAA will handle any potential conflict. It won't just be WWE that AAA will work with, though, as TNA Wrestling will also be getting involved, with 3 of the promotion's biggest stars coming to TripleManía Regia. In the Wrestling Observer newsletter, it was shared that Joe Hendry and the Hardys will represent TNA at the June 15th event, which will also feature WWE's Angel and Humberto. WWE's involvement has left many concerned about major changes coming to AAA, but Konnan isn't concerned that the Lucha Libre promotion will be harmed by this deal. While speaking on the Keeping It 100 podcast, Konnan was asked whether he's concerned that WWE might alter AAA and water it down, similar to what happened with ECW. Konnan explained that the ECW situation unfolded during Vince McMahon's era and emphasized that he doesn't believe Triple H shares the same mindset as his father-in-law. Konnan noted that Vince McMahon had a reputation for wanting to eliminate competition, whether it was WCW or ECW, while so far, Triple H has been more open to working with others. Triple H has spent years backstage learning and being groomed for leadership, Konnan added, and has likely taken note of what wrestlers and fans responded to most. Konnan believes Triple H made mental notes of what to avoid if he ever gained control, and praised WWE's CCO for being open to working with a wide range of people. This approach, according to Konnan, has been beneficial for the entire wrestling industry, so he's not concerned that Triple H will change AAA too much when WWE is in charge. Do you think WWE's involvement with AAA will help preserve the unique identity of Lucha Libre, or are you worried about upcoming changes? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. It was only a few weeks ago that Zaria confirmed her exit from AEW after over 2 years with the company, and now the Brit has once again teased a potential return to WWE. On Twitter, a fan shared footage of Paige's return to WWE TV back in 2017, which saw her bring Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville to Raw, saying, "I don't think no woman will ever top this return." That caught the attention of Zaria, who shared that "I could do better," teasing that she's ready to outdo her past self by making an even bigger return to WWE. Although it wasn't confirmed at the time, rumors from a couple of weeks ago suggested that WWE had already signed Paige to a short-term contract. She's reportedly undergoing medical evaluations with a focus on her neck and past injuries. Zaria left WWE in summer 2022, but this was a decision made by Vince McMahon's regime, and after Vince retired the first time, Triple H tried to sign the British star back, but it was too late. Instead, Zaria debuted in AEW that same year, but would you like to see Paige back in WWE? Will she get TV time or just lost in the shuffle? Let us know your thoughts below. When fans see AJ Styles make his entrance for a match, it's almost a certainty that a great contest will follow, and fans can expect an instant classic on next week's Raw. WWE has confirmed that the May 12th edition of Raw will see Styles battle Finn Balor, and on Twitter, WWE The Show was looking pretty sweet thanks to this match. This was seemingly a nod to the Too Sweet used by the Bullet Club, and fans can expect a great match between two of the faction's former leaders during Raw in Louisville. In a backstage segment, Jordynne Grace was confronted by Lash legend and Easy Dame, resulting in the hilarious shot of Grace being dwarfed by two of NXT's tallest women. The main event of NXT saw a number 1 contenders match between Grace and Giulia to determine who will face Stephanie Vaquer for the NXT Women's Championship at Battleground. Giulia backed Grace into the corner to start things off, but the Juggernaut quickly reversed the momentum, unloading on Giulia with a flurry of forearms. Though at a strength disadvantage, Giulia never seemed like an underdog, and her offense and taunts allowed her to stay competitive and often take control of the match. There was a worrying spot when Giulia appeared to land right on the top of her head, and the referee rushed to check on her, but thankfully she was okay and immediately resumed. The match escalated in intensity before Grace sealed the victory by hitting her finisher and securing the pinfall, earning a shot at the NXT Women's Champion. Speaking of which, Stephanie Vaquer came out to confront her next challenger, setting the stage for their upcoming title match. Grace has been showing more heel characteristics as of late, including in a backstage segment this week, and we'll have to see if a turn comes in her upcoming title match with Vaquer. More released now, as a group of former superstars are now free to wrestle elsewhere this month, as their 90-day non-compete clauses have officially expired. Cedric Alexander, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, Isla Dawn, Sonya Deville, and Blair Davenport are now free agents after being released from WWE back in February. Giovanni Vinci, Elektra Lopez, the Authors of Pain are also on this list of free agents, and some of these free agents aren't wasting time getting back in the ring. Gallows and Anderson are set to appear at this Saturday's Maple Leaf Pro event in Canada, and have teased returning to New Japan at this Friday's event in California. With May underway, the first batch of 2025's free agents can officially step back, but the question now is, where will all these ex-superstars land? Which of these former WWE stars are you most excited to see return to action? Was WWE right to release them? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. CM Punk is coming off headlining WrestleMania for the first time, but after facing Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins in Las Vegas, who's next for the best in the world? Speaking with Netflix's Tudum, CM Punk opened up about the current WWE roster and praised the likes of Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, and Gunther before speaking of future opponents. Guys I want to work with: Jacob Fatu. Got a little taste of War Games, but one-on-one stuff is my bread and butter. Finn Balor is fantastic. I selfishly want to lock back up with Rey Mysterio, teach him a lesson for having such a brat kid. Punk vs. Fatu could score the best in the world, his first title since returning to WWE, while tearing the house down with Rey would be nostalgic for fans who were watching in 2010. It's clear the Second City Saint isn't back just for a fun time, and he's ready to prove why he calls himself the best in the world against some of WWE's top names. Right now, Liv Morgan is absent from WWE to shoot her first major film role, but fans won't have to wait long to see the Women's Tag Team Champion make a return. According to Fightful Select, Morgan's time off for Bad Lieutenant Tokyo will be brief, as shooting in Japan for the thriller is expected to wrap on May 16th. Morgan's return flight back to the US is scheduled for the next day, and while it's unclear when exactly she'll be back, the report confirms she'll miss at least one more episode of Raw. Though this marks Morgan's first major acting gig, the fast-paced schedule indicates that WWE still has significant plans for her once she returns. WWE has opted not to strip Liv and Raquel Rodriguez of the women's tag team titles and expect the pair to be defending the gold sooner than later. Back to NXT, and it was in the Battle Royal that Yoshiki Inamura accidentally eliminated his tag team partner Josh Briggs, and while some saw this as teasing a future match, that won't be happening. In a backstage segment, Inamura apologized and said he was going back to Japan, while a stunned Briggs asked his tag team partner not to go. Whether this is the actual end of the Noah Star in NXT, time will tell, but right now, all signs point to this being the end of the Briggs-Inamura tag team. Six-man tag team action kicked off NXT as NXT tag champs Hank and Tank teamed with TNA World Champ Joe Hendry to take on the Dark State. Trick Williams came out to distract Joe Hendry, and as the pair brawled to the back, Tank was left by himself as Hank was down outside the ring. Dark State picked up the win shortly after, and after getting a win over the tag team champions, it's possible that the faction could be in line for a future championship opportunity. If so, it'll be interesting to see which members of the quartet challenge for the gold, and whether there will be any conflict within the group as to who goes for potential title shots. Zaria defeated Kelani Jordynne in a match that Zaria fought for Sol Ruca, as she believes her best friend shouldn't be out defending her women's North American title every week. Though not an abject squash, Zaria certainly dominated the majority of the match and showed a heelish side to herself as she demolished the first ever women's North American champion. Jordynne was even sent through the barricade, and after the match, Zaria's eyes were on the women's North American title, again teasing that a turn and a title match will come eventually. Jaida Parker defeated Karmen Petrovic this week, and a post-match attack resulted in Parker blasting Thea Hale off the apron, teasing a match between those two superstars. The new students of Chase U wanted to give Andre Chase a makeover to represent a new era, and after some choice options, the group decided on a snazzy red and white tracksuit. It was also said that Chase would look especially good being at ringside going forward, suggesting that Chase will be more of a manager than a wrestler for this new Chase U. This was an idea Chase was clearly not a fan of, and we'll have to see if these students just wanted a new manager to do their bidding rather than to be a part of Chase U. Backstage, Wes Lee was seen on the phone to someone, and after a segment with Tony D'Angelo, a match was made for the two for next week. Lee borrowed a line from Ted DiBiase as he said everybody's got a price, and has Lee paid somebody off for help in this match? And if so, could it be Stax? Time will tell. And that was this week's NXT, and what did you make of the show? Let us know in the comments, and as always, thanks for watching. And we're ending with WWE, who has cut several talents in recent days, but one name fans can expect to see more of is Chelsea Green, as Fightful Select reports that she signed a new multi-year contract. Green's original deal, signed in late 2022, was supposed to expire sometime this year, but now the former Women's US Champion should remain a fixture on WWE programming.